One round in the books. Season 3, 2026 FMA GT3 Challenge brought to you by Alpha Reinforcing this season. Round 2 takes us to one of the new tracks, St. Petersburg. 40 plus cars set to hit the grid tonight after over 50. Kicked off the season opener last week at Daytona. Welcome in. This is Racer Nexus. I'm Rob Campbell, and in the booth with me, as he has been for every episode of FMA GT3 action here on Racers Nexus, is Mr. Richard Swindells. Welcome into St. Petersburg, Rich. Should be a ton of fun. We always love the street circuits.
Oh, you're darn right we love the street circuits, Rob, because it's hard to get an off track here, folks. The walls keep you pretty much on the track unless you're really trying hard. It's going to be exciting tonight.
Yeah, you have to have something go terribly wrong to get yourself off track here at a street circuit. But speaking of street circuits, let's take a look at the track information here for this evening. As mentioned, we're at St. Petersburg. One of the newer tracks came in last season, and it's produced a lot of fun racing we've covered here on Racers Nexus. 1.77 miles in length, not too long, only 3 feet above sea level, so you can basically just run off the side of the track into the ocean and have a lot of fun. No rain in the forecast this evening, clear skies, and wind only 2 miles an hour, so beauty night here for some racing at St. Petersburg. Let's take a look at our calendar. So you can see we are on round 2. This round brought to you by Wraps by Matt. Matt Marr is one of the admins sponsoring this race this evening. We're going to head to Phillip Island next week, land down under, and then we're going to follow it up with Spa. So a lot of different tracks here, Rich, to start the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, lots of different tracks at different sides of the ocean, and certainly a lot different styles of racing or styles of racetracks. So really be interesting to see how things shake out. I know week 1 we had a ton of Ferraris, so we got a bunch of Ferraris here. Be interesting to see how they handle the tight confines of St. Petersburg tonight.
Yeah, tight confines for sure. If there's anything to be said about this track, it's going to be real dicey into turn 1. That's pretty much we've seen on every broadcast that we've done here of St. Petersburg, Rich. But let's take a look at the race format for this evening. You can see they're in the middle of qualifying. They do get 3 laps in the, I think it's 12 minutes of qualifying they're allowed to have. Unlimited sets of tires, no quick repairs. It is fixed setup. They're carrying 60% load of fuel. They will need to make a pit stop at some point in time. Usually we see that around the 30-minute mark or so into the race. 20 incident points will net them a drive-through. Another 10 incident points after that will net them another drive-through. There is no DQ limit here in this league, so you can just keep driving till their heart's content, Rich. But at some point in time with no fast repair, that car is going to be tough to drive, as we just see Mark Burdett put it into the tire wall there.
Yeah, and he's not going to be the only one, folks, so don't feel too bad about that, Mark. You're just the first example we get to show this evening, so congratulations. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, somebody's always going to be the first one, right? So if you're not first, you're last, I guess. But that's going to do it for qualifying. We'll give timing and scoring a minute to reset, and then we'll have a look at our grid. It looks like last count here, 44 cars in session. We'll see if they all hit the grid here, Rich. If they do, it's going to be a tight confine into turn 1.
You know, I heard a rumor that a bunch of people were thinking of starting from pit lane to avoid what may happen at turn 1. But if you get enough people starting from pit lane, that just means it's still going to happen, folks. It doesn't do you any favors. So let's see what happens.
That's absolutely right. Let's take a look at the grid. We got a couple of usuals leading the way here tonight. Nathaniel Fryman going to take pole position away from Marshall Crocker Jr., last week's winner at the opener at Daytona. So we'll see how those two do here, going battle door to door into turn 1. We'll have Jacob Dick and Alex Jacobson right behind them in 3rd and 4th. In 5th and 6th, we're going to find Travis Roberto and Tony Sorrentino. 7th place is going to go to Kyle Mavis with Matt Mars to his outside in 8th. And rounding out the top 10 is going to be Steve Sabsitter and Nathan Fuller.
Yeah, 11th place, we've got Anthony Jenkins with Anthony Barranco. They have both Anthony's in 12th. 07, we've got Chase Matsko 13th. Justin Moskowitz in 14th. Adam Brady's in 15th. Paxton Frith in 16th. Row 9, Macon Kazoni in 17th with Ryan Peters in 18th. And Jeremy Esterman is in 19th. Ryder Poe rounds out the top 20.
21st, we're going to find Dustin Wells and the Big Cheese. Starting in 21st with Sasha Andrick in 22nd. 23rd place, Gustavo Ferraro and Jay Davis in the Aston in 24th place. 25th is going to find Mark Burdett, the driver we just saw tag the tire wall. Hopefully he got that out of his system there in qualifying. And to his outside would be Joshua Dufresne. In 27th, Mark Nelson and Nigel Steele to his outside in 28th. Rounding out the top 30 is going to be Justin Welsh in 29th, and then new driver Connor Sturgos in the McLaren in 30th place.
Yeah, 31st we have Jody Nielsen. Jimmy Bajoy in 32nd. 33rd we got Aaron Stevens with Timothy Dunn in 34th. 35th we've got Faraz Abraham and Alexander Katori. 37th, Cody Deek with Curtis Kinneker in 38th. And on row 20, Alexander Berger in 39th with PGA Wetline in 40th.
Is that, oh man, what was the name of his cat? Alexander Berger's cat. I believe that is him in his profile picture.
Steve-O. That's
Steve-O. There's Steve-O there, the profile picture of Alexander Berger. Nice job there, Alex. Jacob Williams in 41st with Mark Ossier in 42nd. Rounding out the field is going to be Ryan Robertson in 43rd with Michael Lemanchek in 44th. Tailing the field, 44 cars set to grid here tonight, Rich. It's going to be interesting to see how many of them make it into turn one and make it back out.
Well, hopefully all of them make it into turn one anyways. I mean, I saw they do a practice start during practice usually, folks. So drivers can get a hang of things, and there's a number of cars that didn't even get across the start-finish line, so I hope we do better here. Looks like we're doing a full pace lap here, Rob. Lots of time to get those tires warmed up.
Absolutely correct there, Rich. Sorry, I just had to go over something with the misses in the background, but see the Porsche pace car lead the field away. Looks like the front 4 or 5 drivers doing a good job trying to get their tires up to a temp for the rest of the field. So they're just going to take their chances here, Rich. We've seen a number of drivers take that strategy heading into turn one here at St. Petersburg. Hasn't really went all that well for them. I hate to keep stressing turn one, but it's probably one of the most difficult turn ones on iRacing. It just, you get that front straightaway on the airstrip. It's just so wide, and it just funnels down into turn one. But here we go, through the final corner we go. Fryman and Crocker going to lead the way. There you go, Porsche pace car is in. We're just waiting on the green flag to drop for 45 minutes of action. There it is, green flag's out. Marshall Crocker and Nathaniel Fryman going to lead them into turn one. They're fanning out 3, 4, 5 wide here, Rich. There you see, there comes the bottleneck. Oh, Chase Silla is around backwards. Chase Matsko in the Acura, the vacuum cleaner dustbuster around. He's going to wait for the entire field to go. Oh man, another car getting tagged around there. We'll get some replays of what happened there as it went on, but you know what? It's relatively calm, I think, for what I might have been expecting for 44 cars heading into turn one. Oh, Crocker into the side of Roberto, and around goes Roberto in the Barbie car. He's going to spin it again, backwards, Rich.
Oh my goodness, that's not a good place to be. Now Travis Roberto's going to have to sit there and wait for everybody to get by. He's towing to the pits. I think he had some damage there. That was a rather unfortunate start. Looked like going down the start of into turn one there, Rob. Somebody just was too late on the brakes and collected a couple of cars, but Nathaniel Fryman, he's managed to keep holding on to this lead here. Jacob Dick in behind. Jacob Dick with the onboard camera. Marshall Crocker Jr. is down one place. He's down to third, but underway. We've got another little bit of an incident here. Ryder Poe's around backwards. He's got to wait for everybody to come around. This is kind of what we were expecting at St. Petersburg. We were hoping for better, but really, Rob, I think this is what we had to expect.
I'm actually surprised it's been this calm here, Rich, to kick things off. We're coming around to finish up lap one. Daniel Fryman going to hold on to his top spot here. Jacob Dick up one spot into second place. Marshall Crocker had fell down a little bit, but he's got himself back up into third. Had that contact with Roberto, but looks like the biggest mover and shaker right now, Jay Davis, up 13 spots, just outside the top 10 into 11th place. He and Sasha Andrick managed to navigate through all that carnage early on here, Rich.
Yeah, well, you know, now that that Jay is an admin, I guess he's getting all the advantages, Rob. So up 11 position or 13 positions. That's awesome. Well done. So that's the kind of, you want to take advantage when there's some mistakes up ahead, and he's certainly done that as they're on board here with Sasha Andrick. Sasha Andrick up 12 positions. So you don't have to start at the front. It certainly can help, but as long as you can get through cleanly, you're going to pick up some spots here at a nice, tough street circuit like St. Pete's.
Yeah, just kind of showed you that onboard there of how tight. Well, look at Adam Brady back to the pits. Connection issue for him. Jacob Williams is around. I think that's like Michael Lomanchek too as well in the Mustang. Something happened for them, Rich, and looks like that Ferrari of Williams isn't going to be having any more fun this evening.
No, and with no faster pair, it can take a while to get things fixed up. So really, the race is over. Taking a look down this start-finish line straightaway here at Jibin Joy coming around here. Oh, look at this. This just shows you how tight and twist. Oh, big bump on the curves we got, but gathers it back up. But my goodness, I thought we were going to have another incident there. Cars go nose to tail. It looks like trying to make a move. Is that Justin Welsh? No, that's Justin Welsh holding off the rest of the people here. And Justin Welsh, Curtis Kinnicker, 21st place right now. Curtis Kinnicker up 17 positions, Rob, so he's on a heater. Oh, no.
That's Bejoy around. One of the Warped Esports drivers gets set back up. It doesn't look like he got any damage, though, Rich. Must have just been a solo spin. Didn't touch the wall. Lucky for him.
I think he was just a little late on the brakes. The car understeered, and he just used a little bit of the runoff area to avoid the walls. That's what it's there for. So Bejoy taking advantage there of the runoff area, not causing any damage. Take a look at Anthony Jenkins making his return last week to GT3 Racing. Anthony Jenkins, a stellar effort in the prototypes on Thursday night, returning again to do some GT3, seeing how he could do here. So right now, Anthony's in 7th place. He's up 4 positions. And unlike most of the people ahead of him, he's not driving a Ferrari, Rob. He's trying something a little different. He's driving the Porsche.
Yeah, well, we got your favorite Corvette leading the race right now with Fryman. And as you mentioned, we got those 4 Ferraris. It was a bit of a Ferrari fest last week at Daytona. Nice to see a little more variety in the cars used on track this week, Rich, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we like, this isn't the Ferrari Championship. This is GT3 Racing, so certainly got a good mix. And here we go. We got Cody Deek. Cody Deek is, and we've got Cody Deek on board on the camera. He looks a lot more like a race car driver in his profile pic than he does in real life. I think he's kind of missing a little bit of the racing uniform in it. And I always find it hard getting my helmet over top of my baseball hat. But thanks a lot for sharing that camera again, Cody. You did last week. We appreciate it. And you know what? It's going to also usually help you get a little more screen time. So Cody Deek had a great season last season. Just a little bit of a bump there. No big deal there. Rob, you're getting all worried over nothing. This is St. Pete's, baby. Oh, there's another bump for Timothy Dunn.
Yeah, I just saw the red Mercedes just kind of flash by the screen. I thought it was going to end up a whole lot worse than what it did, Rich. But let's head back up to the front here as Jacob Dick, Marshall Crocker continue to try and chase down our pole sitter, Nathaniel Fryman. Looks at that Ferrari. Oh my God, I just made it. Rich is going to hate me now. I just called the Corvette a Ferrari. Looks at that Corvette working well tonight for Nathaniel Fryman. He's put it on pole. He's opened up 1.2 seconds over Jacob Dick right now in the Ferrari. So the Corvette, which a lot of people try and say that they stole the styling from the Ferrari here, Rich, leading the Ferraris tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, wasn't there the Ford versus Ferrari in the 60s? Well, now we've got the Ferrari versus the Chevy in the 20s. So it's all good. Nathaniel Fryman off to a great start though. About 0.8 of a second gap over second place Jacob Dick. Marshall Crocker Jr. hanging in there right behind him. And about a second gap down to Kyle Mavis behind. So 1, 2, and 3 all within draft range. Not that St. Pete's is a big drafting track, but and you can see how tight the confines are here as we're on board in the passenger seat that doesn't exist of a Marshall Crocker Jr. We just had enough room to squeeze the camera in there, folks. Marshall Crocker Jr. following along behind Jacob Dick. You got to use all the track here and sometimes maybe brush a little bit of the wall to maximize your corner entry and exit speeds. Not too much, though. That's when you get damage and slow down and all kinds of issues. But Jeremy Eshelman up to 10th place. He's on a heater, too. He's up 9 spots. Following along behind the beautiful Lamborghini of Sasha Andrek, who's up 13 positions.
Yeah, Eshelman, one of the, well, I guess he's the main sponsor this season with his family business Alpha Reinforcing. So again, thank you to them for that. Helps bring all the racing week in, week out, as well as the broadcasts 3 nights a week here, broadcasting FMA racing on Racers Nexus. So again, thank you to Jeremy and family. We appreciate that. But Kyle Mavis, we saw him perform really well last week at Daytona. Rich ended up getting the 2nd place finishing spot as a Pro-Am driver. He's come back this week, St. Petersburg, currently in 4th place, 3 spots ahead of the next highest Pro-Am driver of Steven Zabsiter, who's in 7th.
Yeah, Iron Horse Motorsports driver Kyle Mavis certainly having a strong start this season. I'm not going to jinx him. It's early in this race, but things keep up. I mean, Iron Horse Motorsports in 3rd, Iron Horse Motorsports in 4th overall. 1 Pro, 1 Pro-Am. So that ain't too shabby, folks.
Nothing to shake a stick at for sure, Rich, but let's go a little farther back in the field. We got a battle here between Mark Nelson, Ryan Peters, new driver Connor Sturgos, and Justin Welsh. See 4 of them cruising through, 4 different manufacturers too as well. Nelson in the BMW, Peters in the Ferrari, Sturgos in the McLaren, and then I guess we got another Ferrari in Welsh, but we'll call him a honorary Corvette. But we got Ryan Peters in the SpongeBob car this evening. Hard to miss that one out there, Rich.
Yeah, Ryan always delivers when it comes to the livery, so very abundantly clear which car Ryan Peters is driving. Oh my goodness, that hood. Oh, Enzo Ferrari is rolling in his grave. Oh, big send. Oh, that didn't work out so well. Justin Welsh tried the big send, had to lock up the brakes, got up on the curb, and just, I'll call that backing out of it at the last second.
He managed to gather it up at least and keep it off the wall as we pick back up here with Ryan Robertson battling with Cody Deek. Robertson up onto the curbs. Probably about the only spot there, Rich, where you can afford to go over the curbs and not hit the wall. A little bit of a space there provided by the St. Petersburg track crew, so you're not getting into the wall. And Cody Deek forced Robertson out wide to take that spot back. That's going to move Cody Deek up into 27th place, up 10 spots. Robertson, no slouch as well, up 15 spots just behind him in the 28th place. So a couple drivers working together, moving up through the field.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of drivers kind of drop out and drop by the wayside. I think we've lost about 10 cars have been into the pits at least, and that's allowed some others to take advantage. Alex Berger, 22nd place, up 17 positions. Last season's runner-up in the amateur championship, so he came second, trying to battle back a little bit more, and certainly Big Steve-O, or you know, the cat. He you know, might be running for one of the best profile pictures of all the drivers right now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he gets the Steve-O power here this evening, as he's putting a ton of pressure on the back of Joshua Dufresne, new driver we saw join the league last week at Daytona. He's having a nice race so far, up 6 spots. Oh, Berger going to get around him on the inside. Nice move there by Alexander Berger. That's going to move him up into 20th place. Now officially in the top 20 is Alex Berger. He's got Nigel Steele a little ways down the track there, just in front of that yellow Ferrari. He's the next target to try and move up further into the top 20. But we got time here, Rich. Let's go back and take a look at what happened here to kick the race kick the race off into turn 1. Let's see what happened to Chase Matsko, who looked like the driver that just kind of got sent off into oblivion there. So he's on his own in the middle of the screen. Oh, he got hit by that red Ferrari. I'm not sure who that was, but that was a heavy hit on the back of Matsko. Let's see if we can get a maybe a onboard here. Chase Matsko, see if we can try and figure out who it was that just annihilated him in the back end. Looks like the 147 is, I'm having a look at timing and scoring here. Looks like Macon Gazzoni got into the back of Chase Matsko. Around he goes. They collected into the 59, who was Anthony Bronco, out early for him. So a couple of our drivers we see week in, week out. One of the admins early race ending situation for them.
Yeah, while that's going on, you can take a look at Anthony Jenkins and that beautiful Porsche just taking advantage and getting right through clean. But yeah, rather unfortunate that start to that race. But hey, we got some action going on here. Marshall Crocker Jr. back up to second place while we're covering off other stuff there. Nathaniel Fryman still in first.
Jacob Dick here.
Yeah.
Not sure if there was contact between he and Crocker. Oh, Dick just went. Looks like the car might have got squirrely and into the wall. Oh man, he had to tow.
Did he get touched? Did he get touched? Maybe I'm not sure if.
Let's see if we can get maybe
a
blimp shot here. It's a little harder to get shots through the streets with the trees, but let's see what we can pick up here. We got Crocker Jr. in behind him. Oh, we're gonna get blocked by the apartment buildings there, Rich.
We cast no judgments, folks. They won't let us see the evidence. So, rather unfortunate. Jacob Dick was having a strong race up until he had to tow to the pits. We'll see if we can see why.
Oh no, he just missed the corner, I guess.
No. That looked like the F1 race there a couple of weeks back, where the track was coming up in Monaco, and the drivers were just doing that exactly that. They couldn't make the turn right into the barrier. So, unfortunately, Jacob Dick's night is over. That's going to hurt badly. But we'll go back on board here, watch some live racing. We got Kyle Mavis on the inset in third with Alex Jacobson in behind him. Up on the big screen, folks, winning 12th place, we got Mark Nelson with Ryan Peters and Connor Sturgis in behind them. So lots of battles all up and down this racetrack. We've still got 30 cars on the lead lap. Nah, that's not bad. Actually, more than 31 cars on the lead lap, and that's not too bad, Rob, considering all that's happened already.
What, has anything happened here, Rich? I don't remember seeing anything happen.
Some flying cars.
We haven't seen a flying car yet. We've seen some spinning cars and some wrecking cars. We've still yet to see the flying car. We are only 15 minutes into this one, though. Still plenty of time as we see Faraz Ibrahim and Aaron Siebens battling it out. Faraz using that curbing that I mentioned earlier, where we saw the battle between Cody Deek and Robertson. You paid for the whole track, Rich. You might as well use it all up, use up all those curves. With this battle between Deek and Robertson still carrying on as they've just gotten around Alexander Katori and Paxton Firth. Firth now going to make his way around Katori. So Katori losing a couple spots here. Brazilian driver up 9 spots in the day, but just lost a couple there. He's got Matt Mars, who I'm not sure what happened to Mars, but he has fallen back here to 28th place. He's down 20 spots, Rich. So I'm not sure if he got caught up in one of those lap 1 incidents, but rough start of the race here for one of our admins, Matt Mars.
Yeah, it is, and rather unfortunate we missed it, and we're not going to show it now, folks, because we're going to see how much Matt can battle back. Matt certainly got a lot more pace in this position is showing. Hopefully he doesn't have any damage. Well, look at him apply all the pressure here to Alexander Katori. And coming down across the start-finish line, going into the turn 1, is Matt going to make a move? He tucks it to the inside. Katori on the outside. Late braking is Matt Mars. Katori covers him off. Oh, that was real close. Cut the nose off, so as they say. And Matt Mars continuing applying pressure, but Katori said, nah, not right now.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on that battle, but Kyle Mavis now feeling some pressure from Alex Jacobson. It's a battle for 3rd and 4th place. Final step on the overall podium. Mavis would like to keep that position, but Alex Jacobson, who, I don't want to curse him here, Rich, but had a good race last week at Daytona. Had a rough season last season at the back half of it, trying to redeem himself this season in the pro category, putting a ton of pressure on the back of Kyle Mavis. So Mavis, I think, was a little worried last week when he was in the booth with us, Rich, doing the interviews after the race. A little worried he's going to get promoted up into pro. If he keeps performing like this, he might just get that promotion.
Yeah, you know, it would really suck to get promoted because you're driving so well and they think you're just dominating your class. Yeah, I really hate that for poor Kyle. But he's certainly had some success this season. Kyle Mavis, we've interviewed him twice of late, and that's certainly a little more frequently than we did last season. Kyle Mavis having a great season. Alex Jacobson, though, the Threshold Motorsports driver, sitting in 4th. He's all over the back of him, but Mavis is on a charge. He's up 4 positions. He's about almost 2 seconds behind Marshall Crocker Jr. in second. The real closest battle right now for podium position, the final spot on the podium, is between these two drivers. We've got Ferrari versus Ferrari, so maybe we should skip down to some other makes and models, perhaps, Rob?
Well, it's hard. We got so many darn Ferraris in the top 10 here, Rich. It's hard to find one that isn't a Ferrari, but here we go. We got Nigel Steele battling with Jody Nielsen. I'm kind of sad here. Nielsen normally has the Losi paint week in, week out for us, Rich. Now he's gone with, looks like a Fox Racing paint job, so a little disappointed. I'm going to have to give Jody the thumbs down on that one.
Yeah, we're going to have to stop showing him on camera now. We're all... You got on camera half the time just because we love the Losi paint scheme, but just kidding you, Jody. You do what you do, but we really love the Losi because we are both old RC race car drivers, professionals at that. Well, I mean, we paid lots of money and we didn't get paid, but you know what I mean. Anyhow, Jody Nielsen in amongst that battle with Curtis Kinneker and Nigel Steele in behind. So, you know, I'm loving this action here at St. Pete's. This has been really, really exciting. We're at lap 16. We're 18 and a half minutes in. So far, there's been a lot of good close battling. And surprisingly, a fair amount of passes on this tight circuit.
Yeah, let's take a look at what happened here to Sasha Andrick.
Ooh.
Oh, the Lambo just got unsettled over the curbs. That's a heavy hit for him. He's going to fall back a number of spots, but that's going to hurt. He had a nice run going. Was Sasha Andrick. Oh, a little Tony Hawk over the curbs there. Who says Lambos can't skate? He's going to pull it into the pits. Get some repairs done there, Rich. Should be within the window here to get his fuel stop done and make it to the end. So we'll see how that works out for him.
Yeah, he's gonna. Looks like he spent about 46 seconds in the stall, so that was enough time to get some fuel and some damage repaired, hopefully. Anyhow, back to that's quite the paint job of Gustavo Ferraro's car. That's a little different than we're used to seeing on seasons gone by. A little more patriotic than these typical green and black cars that we're used to seeing, Rob.
Yeah, it's the new Apex Hunters team for this season, where a number of the Brazilians have teamed up here to start their own team. And I'm going to say that's a very Brazilian paint scheme. The yellow, the green, the gold. Even they threw a little bit of American flag action on the back end. So nice touch to them. Whoever does the paint work on their cars, well done to them. Hats off. But Ferraro feeling a ton of pressure right now from Mark Nelson, one of the drivers on the Admin Advantage team, who is compromised with Jay Davis, Mark Nelson, Matt Mars, and Chase Matsko. We saw there Matt Mars and Chase Matsko. Rough start of the race for them. So it looks like it's up to Jay Davis and Mark Nelson to hold the candle here for the team to try and pull back some team points here tonight.
Yeah, the Admin Advantage. Entrusting their scoring to people that they're not usually taking up that slack, but Mark Nelson doing a great job up 15 positions and saying, hey, I got you guys. You may have been had issues, but I got you. I'm here. Whoa, somebody off into the runoff. Not sure who that is in behind there, but that was rather unfortunate. On the inset, we still got Nathaniel Fryman. He's got himself up a pretty good gap now over Marshall Crocker Jr., just about a second and a quarter, but that was Jiben Bejoy once again having a little bit of issues. But Nathaniel Fryman's going to have some issues shortly, Rob, because he's coming up on lap traffic, and you know they try and the lap traffic's going to try and keep out of the way, but at the same time, there's only so many places that you can move out of the way on a street circuit such as St. Petersburg.
Yeah, we see time in, time out on a tight street circuit like this, where the leader unfortunately gets into that lap traffic, as you mentioned first, Rich, and it kind of allows the cars that are chasing them down, if they can hit that lap traffic at the perfect time, where we see Marshall Crocker Jr. able to get around that lap car, actually close the gap on Fryman here. Fryman giving the old razzle-dazzle to the Ferrari up ahead, letting them know that he is the leader coming through, and he'd love to get by him as quick and easy as possible. I think that's actually Bronco, the driver we saw wrapped up in turn one there when Chase Matsko got spun around and turned into him. So no doubt Bronco will move over and let the leaders through, but fortunately it's going to come at the front end of the lap here, Rich, where it's probably the most tightest at St. Petersburg.
Yeah, it's certainly a difficult position to be in, but Anthony Branco, long-time racer here, FMA, he knows what to do when the time comes. Nathaniel Fryman starting to get really, really close. I think he's going to start getting a little antsy here. He might start giving a little more than just the razzle-dazzle, because Marshall Crocker Jr. is right there. So right now we've got a little bit of a cork in the bottle here. We got Nathaniel Fryman first, Marshall Crocker Jr. second, and he's not moving over. Oh, he's trying to get. Yeah, it's. I don't know what to say there, Rob. That's kind of surprising.
We'll have to see how the stewards roll this one, because we do know that Anthony Branco is a member of the Iron Horse Motorsports team, which, if we go to Marshall Crocker Jr. here, you'll see him there. So these two are teammates. So hopefully, Rich, there was no gamesmanship there by Branco trying to hold up Fryman a little bit. But that's definitely going to put Crocker in the striking zone here now for Fryman. So maybe if we get Marshall Crocker in the booth after, we'll ask him, say, were you in communication with Anthony trying
deny.
try to get a little one-up on the rest of the field? We like to tease Marshall. He is a member of Racers Nexus here. He does broadcasting on Thursday nights, so it's a little easy to poke fun at him. But yeah, I doubt Anthony was intentionally pulling him up. I think they just caught him at the wrong spot. It's hard to find a spot to move over, and you can see he's falling back there now. But the battle is on for top spot, and battle is on for third place as Jacobson now looking to the inside of Kyle Mavis. He's going to make that move stick. That's to move Kyle Mavis down to fourth place, which probably isn't what he wanted to see, as Zabster now has moved up into sixth place, the second place driver in Pro-Am class. So that gap getting closer here for Kyle Mavis. Anthony Jenkins now the buffer in between those two cars, currently sitting in fourth place. He's up 6 spots on the day.
Yeah, Kyle Mavis certainly would want more cars in between himself and Steven Zabster, but he's still got 15-second gap. So right now, Kyle Mavis is in a tremendous position. There's Anthony Jenkins. He's having a good race here. The Porsche driver, the top spec, or the leading Porsche in the race right now. He's in 5th place. The next Porsche on our list is down in 21st. So solid effort. We got the people coming in for the regularly scheduled pit stops. We're about 24.5 minutes in. Cody Deeks in. Matt Mars just leaving the pit. So hopefully Matt can regain some stuff here and get that nice looking Lambo going. So a little rough start for Matt Mars, but he's got his pit stop done. He doesn't have to come in again.
Yeah, our first driver that we really saw come in the pit window trying to get a little damage repaired. Looks like he was able to get most of it done here, Rich, is Sasha Andrick. He's come back out in 27th place. He is about 14 seconds or so, it looks like, behind Matt Mars. So we'll see if he's able to capitalize as the rest of the field starts to come in, but he's got some work set forth of him to try and get back up to where he was. But one of our newer drivers, Curtis Kinnicker, up 23 spots, Rich. You made a mention earlier, I think he was up 17 spots. Started on the second to last row here tonight, got himself up into 15th place. He's got Jody Nielsen right behind him, just make the move around him. Justin Welsh is next up on his list, but Justin is about 10 seconds down the track. Oh, Curtis goes a little wide, almost into the wall there. Nielsen was almost able to capitalize and take that spot back. Again, the McLaren goes a little wide. So that McLaren, one of the wider GT3s as it is, and we see a Ferrari spin up ahead. That wasn't Justin Welsh. I'm not sure who that was. One of the lap cars, fortunately, around, but looks like Kinnicker and Nielsen able to navigate through there without much harm.
Yeah, that was a little scary, but nice to see the McLaren doing well. I mean, we've got Curtis Kinnicker sitting in 15th place. We've got Connor Sturgis in 13th, and way up there, Steven Zabster in 6th place. So McLaren seem to be doing okay here at St. Pete's tonight, and that's always nice to see a bunch of different cars doing well. As we take a look at Curtis Kinnicker managing to hold up Jody Nielsen, poked the nose out, but I think he was just letting him know he's there. He wasn't seriously thinking of making a move, maybe just trying to get a little better eye for the corner.
Yeah, let's take a look at what happened to Cody Deek here, one of our onboard camera cars. Looks like he is he just tapped. Oh, he was that car that we saw tag the wall as who that was, Kinnicker and Nielsen were coming through, so that's where that smoke came from, Rich.
Yeah, a little bit of smoke, but no fire, thank goodness. So Cody Deek managing to get away with that. Up at the front here, though, we've got Nathaniel. Oh, nice move getting out of the way there. I believe that may have been done. Fryman and Crocker Jr. still kind of nose to tail. We got lap traffic in behind them, and up ahead, the next car on the list, just 1.8 seconds up ahead, is a Marc Gossier. So the fast approaching Corvette of Nathaniel Fryman, the Ferrari of Marshall Crocker Jr., they're just kind of picking cars off one by one as they're coming around through the lap traffic, and look at the stream of cars up ahead. So at some point, these guys got to be thinking about coming into the pits and getting away from the traffic. But I mean, with this many cars on track, Rob, there's really not any gaps to slot yourself into anyway.
Yeah, speaking of slots, I'm having a look at my iRace control app here, Rich, and they don't have a track mapped out for St. Petersburg yet. It's just a circle, but just to give you an idea how many cars are on track, my circle is almost full with cars the whole way around. That just kind of gives you the idea of, as Rich was just mentioning, how much traffic that Fryman and Crocker Jr. are starting to come into here. So it's going to be a battle of patience and just trying to find the way, but I suspect maybe this time by we might see the leaders pop in, as now they've lapped up into, looks like about 17th and 18th place is what they're lapping into here now, Rich, with it only being a minute 11 lap time around here, and with it being about 45 seconds getting on and off pit road, you almost lose a full lap just coming in for your pit cycle.
Yeah, you certainly do, but everybody's got to come in at least once, and hopefully only once. You certainly don't want to be coming in 2 or 3 times. Take a look here at Nathaniel Fryman. Nathaniel Fryman now coming up, and Nielsen going away, getting out of the way, and my goodness, Marshall Crocker Jr. now coming on board. So these two drivers still 1 and 2. They got about 5.5 second gap to Alex Jacobson in 3rd. So this is the battle for the lead, folks. This is the closest battle on track. So far, so good. We're going to go back to a little bit of a replay and see what happened to Chase Mitsuko. Chase getting caught up early on lap 1, hitting the brakes, and the car just does not want to turn. Chase not having his favorite race thus far this season.
Oh, he's one of our lone accurate drivers. I think he might be the only one this evening. Rough race for him. Oh, Alexander Katori into that tire wall. We've seen a number of drivers do that right in front of Anthony Jenkins and Alex Jacobson. So not what they wanted to see. Looks like Timothy Dunn had a little bit of an off too as well. I think he might actually just came to a complete stop to let the leaders by, but we'll take a look at this here with, I believe that is Jacobson just in behind him. Oh no, he went wide. Oh, Jacobson, a little kiss on the side there. Kyle Mavis makes his way through. Makes his way through, but things could have went a whole lot worse. Thankfully, he didn't bounce right back out into the line of traffic there, Rich, where Jacobson and both Mavis were able to make their way through. Or sorry, Eshelman and Mavis were able to make their way through. It's Kyle Mavis now falling down to 7th place.
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming for his pit stop, that's why.
Yeah, Nathaniel Fryman all alone because Marshall Crocker Jr. is in the pits. Alex Jacobson's in the pits. Anthony Jenkins, he stayed out though, but he's 22 seconds behind Nathaniel Fryman. So Jenkins up to 2nd overall. That'll be short-lived once he has to come in for his pit cycle, but solid race thus far for Anthony Jenkins. Just kind of bobbing and weaving and making his way through the traffic, avoiding any issues, and that's what you got to do here at St. Pete's. Marshall Crocker Jr. in and out of his stall very quickly, as is Alex Jacobson. So right now there's about a 7-second gap between 3rd and 4th of Crocker Jr. Alex Jacobson. We're going to go a little further back in the field here and look at the heavily damaged car of Justin Moskowitz. Justin Moskowitz still trucking on though, folks. No give up in this driver. He's holding up a Ryan Peters at this stage. You know, you can have that busted up Corvette and it's still beating SpongeBob SquarePants.
Rich's Corvette bias is coming out on that one there, but
yeah, well, that was anti-SpongeBob actually. It was nothing pro, but hey, just kidding you there, Ryan. We love the liveries. I love the entertainment value you give us.
Yeah, well, if you ever wanted to know what the front end of a Corvette looked like with the front bumper and the headlights out, there you go. Luckily for them, they moved the engine back behind the driver for this model, the C8. Otherwise, he'd have a little bit of engine damage at the front, as we see one of the Apex Hunter Mustangs head off. I think that's Gustavo Ferraro. He's going to come into pit lane to get his pit service done. There he goes by the camera now. So see a little bit of action on pit road there, Rich, as we are getting down to only about 12.5 minutes left to go. So any of our drivers who haven't come in for a stop, being our leader, Nathaniel Fryman. Sorry, he did come in. He'd come back out right in front of Marshall Crocker. So it looks like Mark Nelson, Justin Moskowitz, Ryan Peters. I think there are only 3 drivers left on track here, Rich, that have yet to pit.
Yeah, not a whole lot left. I mean, some people had to pit on lap 1, so we don't necessarily count that. But kind of surprised that Fryman and Crocker Jr. came out the way they were, because Crocker, from cone to cone on pit lane, picked up a full second on Nathaniel Fryman. So may have been Fryman got through a little cleaner on his in lap than Marshall did on his out lap. But here we go. Nathaniel Fryman falling along behind Alexander Berger. Berger doesn't know where to go. He's trying to get out of the way, folks. He's trying, but the 2 drivers battling behind. Crocker Jr. gets by Nathaniel Fryman. Berger's doing his best to keep out of the way, and he did all he could, and Crocker Jr. said, I'll go this way, you guys go that way, and Crocker Jr. up to point, and now it's Nathaniel Fryman's turn to play chase vehicle.
It almost looks like Berger moved to the right on the front straight to try and let them by, Rich, and they pulled over to try and get some draft on him, and that just kind of concertined everything up a little further into turn 1. Crocker was able to take advantage of it, though. So now we'll see if our pole sitter, Nathaniel Fryman, who's led this one every lap of the 28 laps we've put in so far up to this point, but Marshall Crocker Jr. got himself out front, poised to try and take the win and go back-to-back here to start the first 2 races of this season.
You know, we've got, obviously, I've got some of my biases here, Rob. I love the Corvette. I've been a Corvette guy since I was much younger. And Marshall works, we're on the same broadcast team, so I don't know who to pick, but I'm loving the battle, and they're coming across some more lap traffic, and Michael Lemanchik up ahead, and well, just getting right out of the way is Lemanchik. He's like, I want no part of this. And thank you very much, Michael, as we got Crocker Jr. Crocker Jr. Next up is Kinnicker. Kinnicker's like, I'm getting out of the way. Nicely done there. And the new driver here to FMA, following the rules.
Oh, no,
not getting that fight. Oh, Fryman gets up on the curb. The back end comes
Matt
around.
Mars.
Backs into Matt Mars. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man,
Unsafe.
That's probably going to be race ending for Fryman, as that left rear suspension is destroyed. Meatball flag. There it is for Matt Mars. I'm actually surprised that Fryman didn't get one either. Oh, he's going to try and turn around. Not sure if there's any traffic coming, but that car is not going to be too happy as he tries to drive away. Yeah, that's what we call dog tracking, folks. There goes Anthony Jenkins through, and unfortunately that is race ending for Nathaniel Fryman. We'll see if we can try and catch if there's any contact there, Rich, but I think that was just basically a solo spin.
Yeah, I think he got up on the curves, and you can't turn when the front wheels aren't on the ground. And take a look here at the instant, or not instant, we're looking at the replay, and he just, he was right up in the bumper, or the rear bumper of Marshall Crocker Jr. Got himself a little sideways once he got up on that curb. Once he got stopped, he put it in reverse, unfortunately, and
let's see what Matt Mars saw come around the corner. Oh, nowhere to go for him, unfortunately. And he had no steering after that.
Not usually expecting cars to back up on the track, unfortunately, for Matt Mars. His race is over.
I want to take another look at that Fryman incident, because I've been harping on iRacing about this for, I feel like, forever. It's been years. If you're following behind a driver and you just give them that little tap on the rear bumper, for some reason, you lose all grip in the car and it just wants to spin every time. And if you have a look, Fryman just gives the very slightest tap on the rear of Marshall Crocker's bumper, and then it's as if there's no grip on the rear end of that car. So let's take another look at this here, because I've seen so many drivers have race-ending results from this. It just drives me crazy, because it shouldn't happen like that. You watch any kind of racing across the world, nobody has this tiny little tap and then loses the back end of the car like that.
Normally I agree with you, Rob, and I have seen that in iRacing before, but there was that curb that he also hit there at the same time, so he's off balance, and then he got the car on the curbs, which also took it even worse. And I don't know, it's just one of those things, unfortunately.
Fix it, iRacing. Fix it.
Justin Moskowitz continuing to drive around that faceless Corvette, but trucking on. He is 9th place. That is incredible with all that damage. I guess downforce and aero isn't such a big deal here at St. Pete's.
Maybe the Corvette works better with a whole lot of cooling on the front end, Rich, but as long as he stays tucked in behind Ryan Peters, it shouldn't affect him too much. But on a street course, you're not really hitting the high speeds where you need a whole lot of downforce, so it's probably not hampering him too much except for that front straight. But like I said, if he could stay tucked in behind Ryan Peters, but hats off to him staying in the top 10, but I'm not sure how long he's going to be able to hold on, because Justin Walsh and Connor Sturgis are right there in 10th and 11th place. They'd love to get themselves into the top 10.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, Moskowitz did lose 1 position to Peters, but he's still sitting in 9th, in second in class. So solid race on the wounded car. Let's take a look here at Connor Sturgis. He's battling here. Justin Welch ahead, Justin Moskowitz in behind. So be interesting to see how long it takes Welch and Sturgis to get by. But let's go back on a replay here at Sasha Andrik and see what happened here. Sasha Andrik having a little bit of issues this evening, and the issues unfortunately continuing with a little bit of a slow motion spin. Sasha Andrik says, that's enough. No more torture, folks. Get me out of Florida. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
that
man.
Was not pretty.
Oh, I think that was Kyle Mavis. That was our top Pro-Am driver, Kyle Mavis, got wrapped up in that, was able to still hold on to 3rd place. Let's take another look. Looks like Alexander Katori, they were trying to go by. It looks like he just kind of stopped in the middle of the track here, Rich. But yeah, let's get another look here. See if we can get a camera. So there's Katori in the BMW, just kind of in the middle of the track, off pace. Mavis tried to go one way, and then looked like Katori kind of closed off going the other way. And you just see the bottleneck there. I think that's just Jody Nielsen in there too as well. Ryan Robertson, Aaron Siebens, all wrapped up in that one.
He tried to move offline and slow down to let the lap cars come by. One of them got by, but the unfortunately Mavis picked the wrong way there. And fortunately, though, still in 3rd place and going with a pretty big gap to Anthony Jenkins in behind. He's got 6.5 seconds. So.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he was able to hold on to that spot, Rich, because they came to a complete stop for a good, I'm going to say, 7 or 8 count before they got going again. But they still got 6 seconds over Anthony Jenkins. Steven Zabsiter in 5th place overall, our 2nd Pro-Am driver. He's sitting comfortably 5 seconds ahead of Jeremy Eschman, our 3rd place Pro-Am driver. So nice mix of Pro and Pro-Am drivers up at the sharp end of the field. We lost a bunch of our Pro drivers early on. Jacob Dick, Ryder Poe, Macon Gazzoni, Travis Roberto, Chase Matsko, Tony Sorrentino, all out early on.
Yeah, that is rather unfortunate, but these things happen when you get 44 cars on a tight street circuit and everybody wants to advance. Unfortunately, not everybody can, but you know who is? Alexander Berger. Alex Berger having himself a solid effort here. 15th place, up 24 positions. He's falling along behind Curtis Kinnicker, who's also up 24 positions. So these drivers are getting through relatively cleanly where others haven't been able to. Nice close battle. Oh, we're 41 minutes into this 45-minute race. Lap 34, we're going to go to what is your clock there? Is it 38 laps possibly here tonight?
Yep. It looks like we're on pace for 38 at the pace that Marshall Crocker's putting in right now. But yeah, you know what? It's hard to believe that being 24 positions up on the day, Rich, isn't the biggest mover so far. That award goes to Ryan Robertson, up 26 position, 2 more than Kinnicker and Berger in 17th place. So, you know what? Half the battle of making the, as I mentioned that, it looks like Berger, something might have happened to him. You see him on cam there. That face expression pretty much explains it all there, Rich. he lost it a
I
little
can
bit through
pretty
that
much read those lips.
through that final sector. Let's see if we take a look at what he was making that face for here as he was following in behind Kinnicker as they come through the final sector up on the curve. Oh, car sideways. Oh, manages to avoid the wall, back on track. And that there, folks, is what you call luck of the Irish. I don't know if Berger's Irish at all or not, but you can't ask for much closer of a miss of the wall and stay on track. So that fully explains
no damage. No damage and lost no positions. Why are you getting so excited, Alex? You're usually so calm, cool, and collected. But, oh, there we go. Steve's sitting in the background giving him proper shit, Rob. I'll just say that right out loud. Hey, come on, Dad, get your act together. Keep it on track. So nice save by Alex Berger. Meanwhile, up at the front, coming around once again, folks, Marshall Crocker Jr., first place right now. He's got, almost 13-second lead over Alex Jacobson. So all Marshall has to do is keep this thing on track and avoid cars he's trying to pass and lap. So right now, a very solid race for Marshall Crocker Jr. Alex Jacobson 12 seconds behind. Kyle Mavis 12 seconds behind him. So top three podium drivers spread out that quite a bit. We got to go way down the field before we get a nice close battle, or a lot further down the field, down to battle for 7th between Mark Nelson and Ryan Peters. So SpongeBob is moving up and trying to get a hold of, get on to the back there of the BMW of the advantage driver, Mark Nelson. So nice racing. Mark Nelson up 20 positions. Just a slow day at the racetrack for Mark.
Yeah. SpongeBob and Patrick, nice navigating so far of all the incidents. It's kind of nice to see Ryan Peters, one of those drivers we see. He's had a couple of nice races in the AM class, only for things to go sideways midway through the race, get wrapped up in something. So we'll see if he can bring it home. But a little farther behind them, we got Justin Welsh as he is battling with, that is Connor Sturgos just up ahead of him. It's for 10th and 11th place, final spot in the top 10 for those two drivers. But Marshall Crocker Jr. here, he's currently on his second to last lap here, Rich. They crossed the line with about a minute 13 or so left to go. So he probably could have backed out a little bit if he wanted to and not run the extra lap, as we see one of the Mustangs into the wall there. But Marshall Crocker Jr. going to see who took enough fuel here to run that extra lap. We might see a couple drivers falling by the wayside on the final lap if they haven't fueled properly here, Rich.
Yeah, that's always a worry when you have you just get over that threshold or under that threshold and they go that extra lap. Like Marshall Crocker Jr. was 11.5 seconds in his stall. Drivers such as Jacobson and Jenkins were almost a second behind, and then you go down to Mark Nelson. Mark Nelson was only 9.5 seconds in his stall. Justin Moskowitz, only 9 seconds. So there may be some people might be having to lift and coast a little bit here to get through to the end.
One of those drivers, unfortunately, was this man right here, Curtis Kinnicker, who is up 24 to 25 spots. Oh man, it's the Corvette of Paxton Firth into the wall, but Kinnicker had to come back in for a little splash of fuel. That's going to drop him down to 21st place, Rich. So one of those drivers that didn't calculate for that extra lap. As I said, it was only about 2 seconds or so when Marshall Crocker crossed the line that we were going to run that extra lap. So Crocker Jr. being the leader here, he knew what kind of pace he was on. His fuel calculator was telling him how many laps it's going to be. It's the trouble with your a little farther back. Sometimes your calculator kind of throws it off a little bit. You're not quite sure you're going to run that extra lap. So that's where we're going to see a couple drivers possibly in danger here, not making it to the start-finish line to finish the last lap.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's part of racing, folks. You got to do all the math in your head, or let the computers, your crew chief, or somebody do it. But Marshall Crocker Jr. started second, dropped down early, coming across, and a little razzle-dazzle, a little shake and bake. Marshall Crocker Jr., our race victor tonight.
Alex Jacobson out of the final corner across the line for him. He'll come home in second place. Kyle Mavis going to be our top Pro-Am driver and the last driver on the podium in the overall position here, third overall. So nice race for him. P2 in the overall to start the season, P3 in the overall for the second race. So Kyle Mavis putting his stamp on the Pro-Am category right now. Anthony Jenkins going to come home 3rd place in Pro-Am. That's 4th in the overall position. Steve Sabsiter going to be our 2nd place Pro-Am driver out of the final corner for him. And he makes the charge to the line. Jeremy Eshelman did close that gap a little bit, but still going to finish up about 3 seconds back of Steven Zabster.
Yeah, you know, Steven Zabster didn't get a lot of TV time or talk tonight because he just
Oh,
ran a
there it
clean,
is.
consistent race.
SpongeBob's out of fuel.
Ryan Peters, SpongeBob, you didn't drink enough ocean water or whatever the heck it is you live in. Come on, get it going. Oh, Ryan Peters, solid race. All for naught on the last corner of the last lap. He's just coasting and hoping.
Yeah, he lost AM win to Justin Moskowitz, who was able to move around him. Peters not able to make it to the checkered flag. He's going to need a little help from somebody to potentially get himself to the start-finish line there, Rich. But hopefully for him, he finished a lap ahead of Alex Berger. I think Alex Berger might have been a lap down where Peters was still on the lead lap. So if that's the case, then Peters will still be able to hold on to 2nd place. But Alex Berger, once he watches that back, might wish that he was still on that lead lap. I think he only lost it in the final corner to Marshall Crocker. He would have had one more lap around to go, but as we're on board here with Aaron Siemens as he's coming around to finish up his race, I believe that's Cody Deek just ahead of him. Yeah,
that was rather unfortunate for Ryan Peters. That was one of his better races we've covered. He had, you know, he's had some bad luck, but ooh.
I think that was Cody. I think that was Cody Deek that got into the back of Marshall Crocker as Kyle Mavis does some donuts around them. Little Iron Horse Motorsports celebration there at the end with 2 of their drivers finishing in the top 3. But let's take a look at the final results here tonight, Rich. In the pro category, we see Marshall Crocker Jr. taking the win over Alex Jacobson and Anthony Jenkins. 4th place going to go to Anthony Sorrentino. We lost that many pro drivers. Anthony Sorrentino 5 laps down, finishing 4th. So rough race to be a pro driver here tonight, Rich. So all those drivers will be hoping to have a better result next week as we head down under to Phillip Island. But Nathaniel Fryman in 5th with Chase Matsko, Jacob Dick, Travis Roberto, Macon Gazzoni, and Ryder Poe all many laps down. What's it look like over on the Pro-Am side, Rich?
On the Pro-Am side, well, surprise, no surprise, really. Kyle Mavis with the great recovery there still manages to take the race victory in Pro-Am. Steven Zabster, relatively quiet race, just clean, consistent, solid driving comes 2nd. Jeremy Eshelman moved on up, came in 3rd. There are
just like the Jeffersons
season sponsors, so yeah, moving on up there. I'm aging myself drastically. But we had a lot more people on the lead lap here. We had Mark Nelson in 4th, Connor Sturgis in 5th, Justin Welsh 6th, Jay Davis in 7th, Gustavo Ferraro and Jody Nielsen rounding up your top 9 and finishers on the lead lap today.
Let's take a look at the AM side where Justin Moskowitz was able to snatch victory from Ryan Peters at the line as SpongeBob unfortunately had too many Krusty Krab sandwiches there, couldn't get across the line. Alex Berger and Stebo going to come home in 3rd place with Faraz Ibrahim in 4th. Ryan Robertson rounding out the top 5 with Siemens, Wetline, Dufresne, Kinneker, Deek, Steely, Lemanchik, Bajoy, Williams, Katori, and Burdett. Rounding out our AM class. Oh, I think we might even have another page of them. There we go. Dustin Wells and the Big Cheese, unfortunately, out early on. They did not see the checkered flag, so rough race for them, Rich, but that's going to be our results here this evening.
I'm really interested in when we get to talk to Justin Moskowitz. I mean, he was missing half the front end of that car for the bulk of that race and still came in 8th overall and 1st in class. I mean, a little bit of luck at the end, but still, wow, just incredible. Corvettes can do anything, Rob.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of luck and a little bit of bias from Richard Swindells. But speaking of which, let's bring in our race winner to catch up with Richard Swindells, Mr. Marshall Crocker Jr.
Wow, Marshall, that was adventuresome.
A good way to put it. It's a very good apt word. Yeah, holy cow! It was everything it was set up to be and more. And Yeah, man, I always think, man, I don't get enough of a chance to race a lot of these guys. We just never happen to see each other on track. But yeah, today between Jacob Dick and Nathaniel Fryman, two guys I always wanted to kind of go back and forth with. I almost said it over the radio to Fryman after a couple laps. I was like, man, we have a shared trauma after all these lap car near misses we've been through together, and I nearly came on the radio just to say, hey, like, let's keep it chill. There's certain passes you just with lap traffic at a street circuit, there's certain ways you don't want to make the move, right? If a guy just checks up really hard, like, you know, we were all, I feel like, that front of the field kind of just in survival mode, and it's always kind of bad taste to try to make the move in those circumstances. So yeah, a ton of fun. I feel like for the most part it was pretty clean. There were certainly a couple guys that did a really exceptional, over-the-top even job of getting out and making the battles pretty clean. So the fact that we had as much good racing seemingly today as we did up until the end there was a very good sign. It was a fun one.
Well, I got another question for you, Marshall, and I don't expect an honest answer, but I expect an answer.
Right?
You and I think you were battling Fryman there, and Anthony Barranco seemed to be a little bit of a cork in the bottle there. Was there any team shenanigans going on, or was that just you guys caught him at a bad place?
It certainly wasn't by design. I'll say that up front. Yeah, that's not really the vibe, man. I've been on the other side.
We're just bugging you, Marshall. We're just bugging you.
Honestly, like I've been on for so many different leagues and stuff. Like I've been the odd man out in a lot of situations where there's other team cars, and you always kind of worry about it. But I think a lot of the great racers that love to do this, like we're not the kind of guys, I don't think, that the win means that much that you'd kind of play the games there. Anthony's he's a loyal guy. He's a great teammate, and I think honestly for him it just comes down to he's too fast to be a lap down. He has his incidents, and then I've been on the other side of it. He's a hard guy to get past on the best of days.
We were just bugging. We're gonna ask the question. We ask the hard hitting questions here at Racer Nexus, as you know.
And the hard hitting sound effects. My goodness, this is a professional production we got going here.
Almost. That's why we got the master Rob Campbell in the booth. But
yes, sir.
Another race victory. You're certainly your success at FMA has been quite impressive. But next week, a little different, another type of course. We're going to, I believe, Phillip Island. I love Phillip Island. What do you think of it?
I really enjoy it. I've never done it in the GT3s. I did actually quite a few esports qualifiers back in the day for it in the Formula 4s, but that's going to be a very different track. It's very thin. It's very tough to pass, and it's going to be kind of the opposite of this, where it's still tough, it's still technical, it's still hard to make moves, but instead of a wall there, it's just endless grass going off to nothingness, as is the case of most of the Australia, New Zealand circuits. So should be a fun one. I just love, like, this. I think this calendar is really well put together. A lot of versatile tracks, but also a lot of ones that you just don't see in a lot of GT3 series. That's why I keep coming back to this one. I'm every week I get to kind of practice something I've never done before. So I've got good reps at Phillip Island compared to a lot of other tracks, but certainly the GT3 is going to be a different animal. So we'll see who has the pace next week.
Well, congratulations. Anybody you'd like to thank or give a shout out, or whatever you want to do. Say your piece.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I prepared a written poem. No, I'm kidding.
There we go.
Yeah. First of all, it's kind of nice to be back. I feel like I was going through a bit of a slump, and with the mental aspect of, hey, push, try your best, just because there's points. Go have fun. My girlfriend Alyssa's really been preaching that. So we shout out to her as always for watching this stuff. Shout out to Alpha Reinforcing for actually sponsoring the series. I have the pleasure for Jeremy and all of his sponsorship for. I got the little logo on the front of the hood. I'm probably gonna forget to mention it the rest of the season, but Alpha Reinforcing, really cool that they're on as a title partner. I know it just makes the logistics so much easier. And of course, Matt, Chase, the entire team. I'll give a shout out. Maybe I'll start doing a shout out of the day because I want to bring more positivity. I'll give a shout out Ryan Peters. I've never seen him have the pace that he had today. He may have come across for the win in the AMs, but I was running behind him in practice. I was genuinely trying to practice my through the field passing, and my goodness, he held me off for 4 or 5 laps. I've never seen the pace he had today. So Ryan Peters, will give him a special shout out. That's all for me today. Thank you as always, Rob and Rich. You guys put on a heck of a show, and I feel weird not being a part of the Racer Nexus family for a couple weeks, but I understand I'll be back broadcasting in a couple Thursdays from now. Until then, thanks for what
if you would answer my DMs, Marshall, maybe we could get you on to some others. This guy, boo-hoo, he's not on the show, doesn't answer my messages.
Well, now he can't afford new tires for Phillip Island. That might be a problem. But just so you know, Marshall, we did showcase Ryan quite a lot this race, and he had a great race. Unfortunately, somebody had a little too much pace and just made it go an extra lap, and that cost him the race victory. So poor Ryan ran out of fuel, but came in second. So we're not going to blame you for that, Marshall. We'll just blame fate.
I'm going to blame my Discord notifications. And Rob, to answer your question, I'm unfortunately not free on Tuesday nights. So there you go. We got an answer on that.
There we go.
That's enough of me, though. I'll let you guys get off to the rest of it.
Pulling Marshall's chain. Let's see if he can do the three-peat next week at Phillip Island. Let's see who we got coming in next year, Rich. We have, let's bring in our second place finisher, Alex Jacobson. Alex, congrats coming home in P2. Nice way to start the season off here at St. Petersburg. How did you find the track and navigating traffic out there?
The track was actually a blast. I was getting tired by the end there, just realizing how many laps we still had left. But love the layout. It was just, trying to get around people was tough. Luckily, a lot of the lap cars were being pretty nice about it. But there was a couple moments there where I had guys either in the wall or just slam on the brakes, and just glad I survived, to be honest.
You and Kyle looked like you had a good battle going on for the first half of the race, and then you guys got through traffic at the end. Kyle got wrapped up in something. Looks like you were able to squeeze through there, but we head to a much different track next week, Phillip Island, the wide open spaces of the land down under. Have you done any laps there? I know it's a little bit of an obscure track to a lot of racers.
Yeah, I haven't done any laps in GT3, but this was my pick for the season, for the schedule, I mean. So looking forward to it. I've run it in a couple different series, but just not GT3, so should be able to last.
Oh, there we go. Alex Jacobson calling his shot. He put this track on the schedule, so we're expecting big things for it.
Can I just say something there, Rob?
Always, Rich.
I'm going to anyway. Of course I can. Well, thank you for putting on the schedule. I love the track, Alex, so it's going to be exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's a great track, underutilized, so thought I'd put it on there.
Well, I look forward to seeing what it's going to look like with 40-plus cars next week at Phillip Island. But before we let you go here, Alex, anybody you want to give a shout-out to at home cheering you on?
Shout out to my wife, as always, supporting my hobbies and everything. But yeah, just this was a fun one, a great race, great comeback after last week. So I'm having a blast today.
Well, hats off to you here this week, Alex. Get yourself rested up, ready to go, and we're expecting big things for you next week at Phillip Island. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
That was our second place finisher in the pro class, Alex Jacobson. I do not see Anthony Jenkins in the chat room, so let's move on to our Pro-Am field here, Rich, where Kyle Mavis is going to go back-to-back wins in the Pro-Am class.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Kyle, congratulations. That was that looked like that was an effort.
I think we had a really good week of practice coming into this. Obviously, like I said, I found out I had bought the track, I think, as we talked last race, but I had not actually loaded it up or driven it yet. So put in a good bunch of practice time, came out there, qualified actually better than I had practiced. Surface temps were scorching hot, and I think that held everybody up, but cooled off a little bit at the race time and had some good grip out there and survived kind of the first couple laps of chaos, got myself in a good position, and then tried to make it last as long as we could. Had an amazing battle with Alex Jacobson again. He and I, it looks like that might be a thing that keeps happening this year. He keeps getting the better of me, but he's a pro, he should. That's understandable. And then a little bit of chaos there to close the race out. Unexpected, but survived it and came home with P3 overall and first place in Pro-Am, so can't complain.
Yeah, you say that unexpected chaos near the end there, and surviving it. We were surprised you survived that too. Yeah. And not only that, managed to keep first place in the Pro-Am. Quite the feat of driving, a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, and it all turned out all right. So back-to-back great start to the season, and next week we're going to Australia. So see what we can do there, Kyle. Is that going to be a track that you're going to have to learn to drive it brand new, just like this one?
No, I've got some laps in there, so we're familiar. Obviously, not necessarily in this particular car. It's always a challenge. It's not one of the easiest tracks in the game by a long shot, but it's one that I've put enough laps in that I feel comfortable. At least we just got to dial it in a little bit. Tricky part is I've got some travel heading up, so I'm going to try and get some laps in tomorrow, and then try and get some laps in. I think I basically land Monday morning and then we got to get in the sim and get some laps in heavy before the actual race. So you're going to see me bright and early on the practice. Exactly.
Well, congratulations. Any shout outs tonight, Kyle?
Shout out to, my team. Marshall, obviously, he's had a great win today. He should have been up at the podium last week. He pushed me hard during practice, showed me some changes that helped me find some speed. Thanks to the great team here that puts this on. Thanks to you guys. And thanks to everybody who watches this and keeps it entertaining.
All right. We'll see you next week, and good luck in your prep.
Thanks, guys.
It was our Pro-Am winner, Kyle Mavis. We do not have Steven Zabziter in the waiting room, so let's skip forward to the man who is sponsoring this season, Jeremy Eschman. Jeremy coming home third place in Pro-Am class, final step on the podium for the class. St. Petersburg, talk us through your race.
Chaotic, but then uneventful at other times. It's a track that just never gives you a breather. I'll say that, even when you're not particularly racing bumper to bumper. You don't know what's going on everywhere.
So tell us, how many white knuckle, oh my god moments did you have out there tonight?
I would a handful. Most early. Most were in that first 2 laps, and an inch any other direction on multiple of them on my day would have been done. Not sure how I got through that first lap without even a scratch.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic heading into turn 1, but you were able to bring home the Threshold Motorsports car for final step on the podium at St. Petersburg, a tough track. We're going to head to the land down under for Phillip Island next week. Is it a track you've put any laps on, let alone in a GT3 machine, or is it something you have to go to school this week to learn and find the pace?
That's another track I want to have to learn. It seems to be a theme here in FMA.
Well, we hope you're able to put in some time, get in those laps, and be competitive back here again next week. Put yourself up in the top 10. But before we let you go, do you want to give a little shout out to yourself and the Alpha Reinforcing sponsoring this season? We mentioned it on the stream that you guys are kicking in to help covering the cost for the season. Just a little spiel about Alpha Reinforcing if you want.
Yeah, we do rebar detailing. So any contractors out there or rebar fab shops that need detailing done, you know what we do when we just say rebar detailing. So we work with anyone across the country. So reach out if you need anything.
Excellent stuff. Well, again, we appreciate you coming aboard and helping cover the costs, and best of luck heading forward the rest of the season here, Jeremy.
Thank you.
That was our third place finisher in the Pro-Am side of things. Let's see who we got left in here. We've got, looks like we only got Alex Berger, our lone AM driver here this evening, P3 in class. Rich, why don't you catch up and find out how Stebo was?
Yeah, well, he was looking a little pissed off at you there, Alex, when you made that little blunder late. We happened to have you on cam when that issue happened, but you still managed to get home with the podium and almost would have had second place if you hadn't let Crocker and Jacobson get by on the last lap.
Yeah, hopefully you guys can't read lips from that situation. Yeah, that was not fun. I don't know how I saved it there, but we'll take it. Yeah, I happened to join the broadcast right at the end of the race, and I heard me get mentioned, like, oh, too bad I didn't finish on the lead lap, and I didn't understand what happened. And I went back and watched it, and what, did Ryan run out of fuel? Is that what it was?
He ran out as he came on the pit straight there, and never actually got across the line.
He deserved P2. The pace he had was kind of insane tonight. He deserves it.
Yeah, I won't disagree with you, but you know what? You had yourself a solid race. Tight confines at St. Pete's, but you survived, and I don't know how you saved that either. Both Rob and I were commenting about that. It's like, man, I mean, we saw the camera, and we saw that you were upset at something, but we didn't have any reference to it till we went back and watched the replay. So, I mean, man, oh man, that was some good driving to save that.
Yeah, tonight was kind of chaos. I didn't qualify well. I think I qualified P38 from what I remember. Had some good overtakes. Survived the lap 1. 39, okay. Had some good overtakes. Had probably one of my better overtakes I think I've ever had. And then finished in P14. So climbing up that much on a street circuit, I'll take it.
Yeah, up 25 positions, the biggest mover and shaker of the day. Nice, solid effort, and the cat in the background was a little upset with you, but you brought it home anyway, so I guess all's forgiven. Next week, he was looking a little angry, but next week we're going to Phillip Island, and we'll try something a little different and see how the Ferrari can do there. Any shout-outs tonight, Alex?
Yeah, all the boys in the chat. Thank you, Andrew and Austin. Threshold guys, again. You guys as well. I mean, the broadcast looks great. I love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll see you next week, and here's hoping for a little more success as well.
All right. Thank you, guys.
That was our third place Pro-Am driver, Alexander Berger. Nice win for him, but looks he's pretty happy with third place, Rich, and that he didn't ruin the race with that wreck in the last lap. And I got to correct. I thought Marshall won last week, but it was Alex Bahari that won. Marshall unfortunately had that incident early on and fell back a little bit. So I said he went back to back, but maybe he'll go back to back next week at Phillip Island. But Rich, that wraps up things here at St. Petersburg. Give us a little rundown on how you thought the race went.
I think the race went pretty much exactly what we thought. We had a turn one, lap one incident. We had drivers running out of fuel. We had lap traffic being in play, and but all in all, great action. Lots of battling up and down throughout the field. 44 cars, pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's the reason I always love doing street circuits. There's always something going on. But speaking of things going on here at Racers Nexus the rest of the week, what can you expect to see? As you see there Monday night, we had Pony Express earlier on this evening. FMA GT3 kicked off tonight. Tomorrow night, Apex is on board with their Porsche Cup, and then the first race of the Throttle Freaks GT3 season kicks off too as well. Thursday night, the finale of the High Point Racing IMSA series happens, and then FMA WEC coverage kicks off about half an hour after that. Sunday night, we see FMA back again with the Gen 4 cars on track, and Apex is back with the Mazda Cup action. So if you're looking to follow on with some more racing, there you go. All that covered here on Racers Nexus later this week. But you know what, Rich, for us here at Racers Nexus, that's going to pretty much wrap things up until next week when we head to the Land Down Under at Phillip Island. Should be a fun, interesting one here. A couple good races already in the book. Race 3 looks like it's going to have just as much excitement. So until then, bye for now. This has been Racers Nexus. I'm Rob Campbell in the booth. With me, Richard Swindell is the man who's caught every FMA race on Racers Nexus here, and he's not looking to break that streak anytime soon. We'll catch you next week. Bye for now.